Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from MageCloud. I'm not Paul, as you can see, but unfortunately, he is not able to join us today due to some unpredictable circumstances. But still, we will hold this webinar together with Aaron, and hope you will join it and get really useful information for you, for your business, and for your revenue. So we are really pleased to have Aaron, our today's speaker, because he is a real expert in that area in email marketing. He is a president of his own agency, RazorClicks, and RazorClicks is a Klaviyo Silver Partner, and they are doing this email marketing for numerous e-commerce brands for years, something around 12 years or more. And they see really great results with brand awareness increase, revenue increase, conversions. So just to make a long story short, just let me introduce Aaron, and he will share his tips how to run email marketing in a proper way, how to build effective email marketing strategy, and extra hacks with you, and hope you will enjoy. So please welcome Aaron. Aaron, it's your turn. I'll try to mute myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you. And thank you to Paul and you and everyone on MageCloud who have been amazing the last few months running our websites, even during a war. There's a freaking war in their country and they're still working for us. It's really amazing. We are so grateful that they're able to work and be there for us and carry on with their tasks, even as their country is really torn apart by a war. And we hope that we beat those Russians out and get them out of the country. And we wish you a lot of success. But really, thank you. We are so grateful that you're there for us.
Thank you.
And I thank everybody for coming today and listening to this, who just want to share some tips about email strategy. Now, Anna said that I'm an expert. The truth is that really everybody could be an expert when it comes to email marketing. It's not that hard. There's so much that you can do to make your email perform better. And there's no reason why any company shouldn't be getting at least 25% of their sales from email. 25% is the low bar. Set your bar at 25% and go further. If you're not getting 25%, you know that you're doing something wrong. There's no reason in the world why you shouldn't be getting to 25%. When I told it to Paul, he was shocked because some of you apparently are not getting 25%, and you really want to do what you can to get to that number. And just look at your total sales. If you're doing $1 million a year, if you're not getting 250 from email, something's wrong, and let's fix it. So I'm going to share some of our strategies that we use every day in our agency. We've been running emails for our customers for 12 years now, and some of them are doing really, really well. Some of them are just starting. We try to bring them in and bring them up to speed as soon as possible. But these are the strategies that we use every day. And these are things that you can do for yourself, for your own business, for your own e-commerce brand, to drive at least 25% of your revenue from email. So at the end of this presentation, I'm going to share with you a graphic that has all the strategies, all the tips, everything that's here. I hope you can see it on the screen now. This graphic is yours. I'm going to give it to you as soon as at the end of the webinar. No charge. It's all yours for free. And you could see, and you don't need to take notes. Everything is here, plus more. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm not going to be able to cover that's here on this sheet. And you could just print it out and use it to drive your own results from email. So we're going to go straight into this presentation. I'm going to try to keep it short. And if there's any questions at the end, happy to take some questions. So this is going to go on overall strategy on how to keep your email marketing, how to drive healthy email marketing results so that we're getting 25% of your revenue from email. So we want you to just remember this acronym. Cash is king. Just remember that. Cash is king. It's easy to remember. Cash is king. You know that expression. If you follow that acronym, you're going to know all the steps that you need to take to drive good results from your email. CASHIS. So let's go into each one and explain what they are. There's cash, stands for collect, automate, schedule, hygiene, inbox, and segment. And just follow those steps And that's your path to get to 25% or more of email sales. Let's start with the first one, collect. Collect is capturing emails on your site. If you're not driving, you can't drive revenue from email if you don't first capture your emails. Now, everybody thinks, oh, I just take my customer list, the people that bought from me, and email to them. Yeah, that's fine. But if you look at your stats, at most of your analytics, you're going to see that 90 to 95% of people that come to your site don't buy from you, don't ever buy from you. That means you're paying a lot of traffic, a lot of advertising costs to Google, to Facebook, to Snapchat, to TikTok, wherever you're advertising, you're paying a lot of money to those platforms to get traffic to your site. 95% of them are not converting. That means that even though you're only getting, let's say, 5% of them as customers, there's another 95% of them that likely would be customers, but for whatever reason, they didn't like what they saw or they weren't in the mood of buying that day. But if you had their email address, you'd be able to send them emails and capture them down the line. So your first step is to make sure you're capturing emails on your site. And the way to do that is with sign-up forms. Now, before I go further into this, I just wanted to say something about the email platforms that we use. We like Klaviyo. Klaviyo is our preferred email platform of choice. We've been in this business for a long time. We've seen a lot of different companies. Don't want to mention any specific names. Some of them have a monkey as their mascot, but we don't want to go into it. We don't want to bash any specific companies, but Klaviyo is by far the best platform for e-commerce email marketing. And the reason for that, and they're not paying me to say this, the reason why I feel that way is because we've dealt with some other very fancy email platforms that charge a ton more than Klaviyo does. And their features and the features that they offer are not any better or maybe even worse than Klaviyo. Klaviyo really integrates well with Shopify, with BigCommerce, with Magento, with all the big platforms. They integrate really well. They capture good data, and they enable you to market very well to your customers. So that's why we use Klaviyo. And Klaviyo has something called sign-up forms, which is basically a pop-up form on the site. I'm going to show you over here. This is the section called sign-up forms in Klaviyo. You just go to sign-up forms, and they have a ton of different sign-up forms that you could use to try to capture emails from your customers. And the basic strategy for this is you just start out with one entrance form, and somebody comes onto your site, you pop up a form, give them a basic offer, give them 10% off, $10 off, whatever it is, depending on your business. No special design, no split testing, just get that sign-up form on your site, capture those emails. You'll be surprised. You'll probably get 2 to 3% of customers just coming to your site to give them your email address. Now let's see how we could bring that up a little bit further. Let's step it up a little bit. So if you step it up a little bit, you'll have multiple sign-up forms. You'll have a few different ones. So like I said, there's a whole slew of choices to choose from over here that you can use to see which one performs better. You're going to test different offers. So maybe some people want free shipping. Some people want a percentage off. Some people want a free gift. Some people want to be entered into a sweepstakes. The sky's the limit. Think of different ideas and offers that you can give to your customers that will help them be willing. It will just make them more willing to give them their email address so that you could be able to market to them later. Make sure, if you want to step it up, is make sure the design matches the overall look of your site, because it's all about trust. They're only going to give their email to you if they trust you. And if the design matches the overall look of the site, then there's trust and they'll give it to you. Mobile versus desktop, people's behaviors. Visitors to your website will behave differently on a mobile device than they will when they're visiting on desktop. You want to test different forms for those two different platforms. And an exit form. An exit form is when somebody's about to leave the site, Klaviyo and other platforms are able to tell when the user is about to leave, and then they throw a pop-up with a special offer. Give your email address before you leave, and we'll give you a special offer. Now, that offer is only shown to people who haven't already given your email address. So these are basic strategies that you can do to try and collect email addresses from your customers so that now you're building up your list from the 95% of the people who are not purchasing from you. If you want to go really advanced, there's some ideas. And again, everything here is going to be on the cheat sheet that's available at the end of this presentation. So the advance, if you want to take this up to even a further level, is to have separate sign-up forms for different pages on your site. If you sell different types of products, you might want to have a separate sign-up form depending on the category of product that you're selling. People who are buying from your kitchen section are going to want to have a pop-up form that relates to products in the kitchen section of your site, as opposed to the bedroom section of your site where you want to style the form for bedroom. Depending on the nature of your business, you want to segment and have different sign-up forms for different categories of your site. Obviously, it has to do with the nature of your business, but this is something that you want to keep in mind. You want to customize the offer by audience, depending on where the audience is coming from. If they're coming from Facebook, they're coming from Google, you could have different sign-up forms for these people. You want a seasonal relevance to the form. This is a really pro tip that not many companies do. But when the pop-up form shows up to the customer, it should be relevant to their season, to the season that they're in. If they're in the fall, they're in the summer. If it's a holiday season, you want to make them relevant so that they're more engaged and they're more interested in the form than if it's just a plain generic standard form that they're seeing all year. Split test everything, very important. You could split test very easily. Klaviyo makes it very easy to split test. You could have two different forms running, two different styles of form running in the same sign-up form, and Klaviyo will tell you which one is the winner so that you're constantly improving. And what are we driving at? We're really driving at getting 10% of people who see your sign-up form to give you their email address. 10%. Yes, it's doable. And let me tell you, the more emails you capture, the more money you will make from email. Without a doubt. Last year, our customers averaged around 25 cents per email message delivered. For every email message that was delivered, we earned about 25 cents of revenue. Think about that. That's a lot of money. You add up those email addresses, 25 cents of revenue. You don't want to pass up on it. Everything that you could do to collect more email addresses means more money in your pocket. Good. I hope you guys are doing okay so far. We're up to C. Let's go through the others. A. A means to automate. Automate means that you send emails based on user-specific opportunities. This is not something that you put in your calendar and you say, oh, on Tuesday, we're sending out this email. No, this is what's called a flow in Klaviyo. And these are automatic emails that are sent out based on the user activity. So when a user takes a specific action, an email is sent out. And let me just show you quickly in Klaviyo what that's called. It's called flows, what that looks like. It's called flows. And here are some of the flows. There's abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, browse abandonment, customer thank you. These are some of the basic flows, and I'm going to go through them quickly. But when someone abandons a cart, you have an email sent out. When someone abandons their checkout, they're already in the checkout, you send them a series of emails. Browse abandonment, customer thank you, product review. There are a ton of flows that could be sent. And I just want to show you that Klaviyo has really a lot of ideas that you can take from them. You don't even think of your own ideas. Just click on Browse Ideas, and they have a ton of different ideas over here that you can use to build into build into flows and automations that will drive revenue. And there are companies that get half of their email revenue from these flows. So don't ignore that. Don't ignore them. These are very important. Many companies don't bother setting these up, and they're wrong. They're making a huge mistake. They're leaving a lot of money on the table. Flows are an important driver of email revenue. Let's go through them. The basic flows are cart abandonment, customer thank you. Those are basics. Those you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't have those in place already. Just take the default text. You could use Klaviyo as default text. One message in each flow, just get them set up. Finished. This is the basics. This is the rock bottom. If you're not doing this, you shouldn't be in business. If you want to step it up a little bit, and this is where you should be, 5 core flows. Welcome series. That means when somebody signs up to your emails, you should send them a series of messages welcoming them to the brand, telling them what you sell, why you're in business, some offers, introducing them to your products. These are basic information about your brand that people are interested in once they sign up to your email series. And it should be from non-buyers, because someone who's a buyer already knows your products, they already purchased from you. This is tailored for non-buyers. Cart and checkout abandonment. Like I said before, there's a cart, someone abandons their cart, you send them an email. Someone abandons checkout, you send them a different email, because checkout means that they're further along in the buying process. You want to send them a different email than somebody who just added to cart. Browse abandonment. This is someone who didn't even bother adding to cart. They just came to your site, they checked out a specific product. Klaviyo allows you to send an email to that customer with that product that they were looking at. Obviously, you have to first have their email address, but Klaviyo knows when that specific user is on your site checking out this product. You could send them this email, you could send them an email with that product that they were looking at, and it reminds them, hey, this is something interesting, maybe you want to check it out again. Customer win back. This is when somebody purchased from you and then it goes about 2 months or 3 months and you haven't heard from them again. You could send them a win back message. Come back. We want to have you. Here's a special discount just for you. And this is automatic. Once you set it up, it runs in the background. You don't need to do this every single time. Customer thank you. This is something that companies really fail to do, and I can't believe why they would do such a thing. When somebody buys from you, appreciate what they did. They spend their hard-earned money on your site with your brand. Thank them. Say thank you. I appreciate your business. Here you go. Here's an offer. Here's something else that goes well with that. And when you have that, it makes them feel good and it makes them feel appreciated that you care about their business and they're going to buy from you. And if you want to really take this up a lot, here are some ideas. I'm going to go quickly through them. These are just some of the ideas that you can use for automation and for flows. But this is what you really want to think about, these ideas here, and think about which ones you could apply in your business. A birthday flow, when it's somebody's birthday, if you have that information, let them know it's their birthday. Rewards program, if you have that, send it out. Send out information about your rewards program, how many points they have, how they can earn more points. Unengaged flow. This is someone who stopped engaging with your list. They stopped engaging with your emails. You want to sunset them. You want to move them off the list, and we'll get to that later. But also that serves, a lot of times it serves to reawaken them and say, hey, oh, this company is noticing that I'm not doing business with them. Let's get into it. The previous holiday purchase flow. This is if somebody purchased from you last year, Mother's Day or Father's Day or Valentine's Day, you want to remind them, hey, it's almost Valentine's Day. It's almost Father's Day. Time to buy. Because if they bought for their mom last year, chances are they're going to want to buy something else for mom this year. And refresh your flows all the time. So if it's a big season, whatever your season is, or holiday season, which is big for almost everyone, you want to refresh the flows and make the messaging relevant to the season that we're in now. Because when it's relevant, people look at the emails, people read them, people engage with them, and people buy from you. That is what you want. And of course, you have to split test timing, messaging frequency. You're going to hear me saying that a lot. Split test everything, because if you split test, you're constantly improving. If you don't split test, you're just going to stay where you are. Okay, we've covered a lot, but we still have a little more to go. Let's go on to schedule. Schedule means regular campaigns. Those are the email campaigns that you say, okay, on Wednesday, we're sending out this email. On Saturday, we're sending out that email. Scheduled emails are the ones that, this is what drives the bulk of your email sales. And this is where a lot of attention needs to be placed, that you do this right. Basic campaigns, most companies, most brands just do 2 to 4 a month. Basic styles, they have a certain template, they stick in a banner, they send out the email, and they hardly ever talk about specific products. And still, it drives revenue. But if you want to really kick this up and start really driving revenue from your email, here's what you need to do. You start sending more emails. Now, I know people are going to say, send more emails. Aren't people going to unsubscribe? People are going to complain. People are going to run away from this list. The answer is no, because if you're sending emails correctly, People will actually enjoy your emails. They'll open your emails, they'll click on your emails, they'll forward your emails, and they'll buy from your emails. And the more you send, the more opportunities you have to drive revenue from email. Send 1 to 2 a week. It's not too much. 1 to 2 a week is totally fine by email. Absolutely fine. Many companies send it without a problem. There are some companies that send every single day. I don't recommend that. But there are companies that do 1 to 2 times a week without a problem. They're more product focused. So they're focusing more on their products because they know that the customers don't care about the weather. They don't care about the season. They care more about what you sell and what it means to them. Talk to them about your products. Give them discounts. And if you don't want to give discounts, talk about how your products make their lives better. That's what they want to hear. And you should vary your message across your audience. If you have different audiences, people who buy different types of products, you have people, if let's say you sell sporting goods and you have people who are into camping, don't send them messages about baseball and football. They don't care about baseball and football. They care about camping. They care about outdoors. Send them outdoor messages. Make sure the messages are the scheduled campaigns are relevant to them. And you could really make it relevant to them if you use a little bit of segmenting, which we're going to get to later. Now, before I go to this slide, we're going to talk about some advanced scheduling ideas. I want you to take note of this. We have something that's really very important, and every brand needs to do this. If you see this spreadsheet over here, we have a spreadsheet of ideas. These are ideas that we use for our email campaigns. And what we do is very simple. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We go into our email box. We sign up to tons of emails from different brands, and we look and see what comes in. And we look over here and we see some of the ideas that come in, and we write it down in the idea column. We write who it's relevant for. We write what time of the year is a good idea to send this email. And we even take a screenshot of the email. So, and these are the brands, these are really top-notch brands that give us information for free because they send us our emails. Look at their emails, watch what they're doing, come up with ideas, and creative ideas is really where the money is made in email. If you come up with creative ideas, this is where the entire trajectory of your email, of your whole email program is going to take off. Good creative ideas. Don't just send the same boring idea again and again every time. The concept of email is coming up with creative ideas. And there's so many ideas out there. Just go out there and look for them. We have them. We keep them in a sheet. We follow this religiously. We really, really take notice of what's out there and what good brands are doing. And this is the most important thing that you can do for your email program. Okay, like we said before, 6 campaigns a month, highly engaging copy, maybe hire a copywriter to make sure your copy is really top-notch. Companies that have good copy tend to get customers that appreciate them and want to do business with them. Split test everything, split test subject lines, from names, style of your email, everything. Invest in top-notch design. Now, this is for advanced. This is advanced. If you're looking to go 25% and beyond, this is what you need to do. Top-notch design, and like I said before, creative campaign ideas. Whew. Covering a lot, but we still have more to go. Let's go to H. H is hygiene. Hygiene means that you need to maintain a healthy, productive list. Your list needs to stay healthy. It needs to stay productive. If you don't take care of your list will not take care of you. Your emails will stop working. And you need practical steps to ensure your list continues to produce. At a bare minimum, that means you get permission from every email that goes onto your list. You cannot add emails in bulk just because you found them somewhere, or you rented a list, or you purchased. Most of the email providers like Klaviyo and the others don't let you enter lists that you don't own or that haven't given you permission. So these are just basic rules to follow. If you buy lists or you rent lists or you just dump a bunch of emails into your email program, it's not going to work. Don't waste your time. Unsubscribe link. If they want to unsubscribe, let them. You don't want them staying on your list and complaining and spam complaining you. It's not going to help you. Let them go off. Don't hide the unsubscribe link. And anybody who bounces or spam complains, out. They're gone. Take them off. These are basics. when you step it up a little bit, you want to make sure that you're removing the unengaged 1 to 2 times a year. So anybody who's not engaged with your list, you want to make sure that they're manually removed 1 to 2 times a year. You want to monitor your domain reputation. So there's ways to do that. It's complicated, but you could, you could just Google it. There's ways that you can do it to make sure that your domain, the sending domain that you're sending from, which is usually your website, has a good reputation for Google, for Microsoft, for Yahoo, for all the major inbox providers, the email providers out there. Make sure your reputation is good. And if it's good, your emails will get through. And very important, make sure you're sending regularly to your list. If you go big, long periods without sending to them, it's going to affect your list quality, and your list will not perform as well. A list that's constantly sent to performs much better than a list that's only sent to very irregularly, or if the sending habits are not regularly established patterns. Like they'll send a lot of emails around a certain holiday, and then we'll go a few weeks without sending. Don't do that. Make sure you're regularly sending to your list. Okay, coming along over here, advanced hygiene ideas. You want to monitor your unsubscribe rates, try to drive engagement from your messages, get people to click. There's ways to do that. Get your users to click on emails. Sunset automatically people who are not engaged. People on your list who don't engage with your list, automatically remove them. Don't wait till you manually remove them. You're never going to get around to doing it. There's ways to set up automatic flows that will sunset and move off people from the list automatically. And maintain open rates of 20% or above. This is key. Do what it takes to make sure your emails are getting an open rate of 20%. Sounds like a lot, right? It's not. 20%. If you're not getting 20% of the people opening your emails, you're not doing a good job. Your emails are not resonating with your audience, or you need to cut your audience down, which you can. You could cut off anybody who's not engaging with your list. 20% is the bare minimum that you should be aiming at, trying to get an open rate for your messages. And that's also an overall measure of how your emails are resonating with your audience. You want your emails to be attractive to your audience. People should want to engage with your emails. If you're not getting 20% open rate, that means people don't care what you have to say. And that's danger for your email performance. Okay, we're really coming along over here. We're up to, we finished cash, and now we're up to is. 2 more things. Is. I stands for inbox. This follows what we just said about hygiene. Make sure your emails hit the inbox, because emails need to be seen in order to be effective. We're going to go straight to advanced over here because nobody else deals with this. You have to make sure your DKIM, SPF, DMARC records are all configured properly. Don't ask me how to do that. Ask your tech guy. It's complicated, but make sure those records are configured properly. And that makes a huge difference in terms of your emails getting through. Get third-party email deliverability monitoring. So if you look over here, we sign up to a company that gives us a list of how our emails are doing. As you can see, this email is getting 100% into AOL, 100% into Gmail, but iCloud is missing. That happens a lot. And spam. Outlook is treating all our messages as spam. So we have work to do when it comes to Outlook. And they give you ideas of how you could fix things up over here, which you could look through. It's really, it's a very good idea that you sign up to an email deliverability service. They charge money, but it's worth it because it gives you visibility into what needs to be fixed so that your emails get through. If your emails, we're going to get to this soon, but if your emails are not getting through, you're not going to be able to make money. And if you, again, like I said, keep your open rates high and engage the services of a consultant if needed. If you're a big company and you're doing a lot of sales, you want to hire and engage the consultant services because this is a big deal. Inboxing is a big deal. And let me say it again. If your email performance takes a sudden dive, you're doing 100,000 a month, and then all of a sudden it goes down to 30,000, you know that your inbox performance has taken a hit. You know that. It's without a doubt. It's happened to us. I don't want to say how many times. We've seen it with our clients. That means that Gmail, probably, they're the biggest culprit, started treating the emails as spam. And when that happens, you need to fix that ASAP. Otherwise, your email performance will go nowhere. And you can. There's ways to do that. There's ways to fix your email and that your deliverability should start going back up. But when it happens the first time, you know, if it takes a sudden dive, it's not because, oh, the season is bad, oh, there's inflation, oh, there's a war in Ukraine. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It has to do with your deliverability. Your deliverability took a dip, your emails are not getting through. And if you fix that, your emails will shoot right back up. Trust me, we've been there, we've done that. Make sure you don't ignore inboxing. This is a critical part of your email performance and your overall email strategy. Last thing, S, segment your list. Make sure you divide your list up into segments and send to each segment accordingly, because not every email is created equal. Depending on your business, you're going to divide people according to the nature of what they're interested in. If they're interested in sporting goods, if they're interested in health goods, they're interested in general goods. You want to really divide them up based on what their category is, where they've purchased, where they've shopped, where they've browsed. That is who you want to make sure you're targeting your messages to the people that want to get them. So you're sending a message that's specific for this category, for that category, for the other category. Now, usually most brands, the categories are related to each other. So if you sell furniture, generally speaking, there's a lot of overlap. There are a lot of things that the people that are shopping for their home will be interested to go from the living room to the bedroom and etc. But if you sell sporting goods, for example, people their interests really don't overlap. And everybody has their own genre that they're interested in. Send them the emails that they're interested in. Everything's going to do better. You're going to get more clicks, more opens, better deliverability, and more sales. There's also across-the-board segments that every business could divide up their list, and that's based on the user activity. VIPs, these are the people that are keeping you in business. People that buy from you 3, 4, 5 times a year, treat them differently. Send them messages that are just for them. You have early adopters. These are people that are quick to buy the first thing as soon as it comes out. Make sure you treat them separately. Let them know that you know that they exist and that you appreciate them. Discount buys, these are people who only buy in discount. Treat them differently. Gift buyers, holiday buyers, waking up the dead. These are people that used to be active and they're starting to fade out. Category interest is very important. Keep your categories separate. Keep the people segmented based on the categories. And predictive purchase intent. That's a very advanced strategy where Klaviyo has an algorithm that's able to predict when a customer is about to purchase again. You want to send them an email to remind them, hey, it's time to purchase. And according to Klaviyo, they're about to purchase. It's an opportune time to hit them up. So I've said a lot, and by now you want to stick your hands in your ears. I had enough of this guy. Shut him up. Truth is, if you don't listen to a word I said, but instead you say, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to figure out how to make my email program better. You're going to do better. Just start paying attention to your email program. Your email is a huge opportunity. It's a huge revenue driver for your business. There's no reason in the world why you should let it sit. It's the easiest way for any e-commerce business today to drive revenue, to drive sales, is from their email program. Just start paying attention to it. You don't need to listen to what I said. You just need to start paying attention. There are a ton of resources available online, a ton of videos, a ton of articles. Klaviyo has a ton of information. They have a whole training course that you could read, that you could follow, you could take, that will really get you up to speed. And of course, like I said, I wanted to share with you this graphic that has everything on it, all the tactics, all the strategies that starts you at the bottom when email is less than 10% of revenue, and it goes through all the steps, the cash is king steps, from when email is 10% of revenue to 20% to 25% to even more. And here are the steps that you need to take. Everything is here. And if you want this, it's yours. I'm going to send it to you. Just send me an email, Aaron@razorclicks.com, And as soon as you send me an email, I'm going to send you, I'm not going to charge you. It's free. Anybody who wants it, happy to send it to you. And it will make a huge difference for your email performance going forward. Do it. Don't be lazy. Don't let it slide. If you want your business to be successful, you need email to be at least 25% of your revenue. And this is how you do it. Do it.
Great. Thank you, Aaron. It was very fast, very detailed, and very fruitful presentation. And I believe maybe guys have some questions. If they don't, I have a lot, but maybe not very relevant to e-commerce, more to our MageCloud agency, but still, maybe guys, if you have any questions, just put them in Q&A section. Okay, but still, maybe someone is thinking about some questions. What about maybe some hacks, how not to get your emails to spam? Because like maybe just several ideas.
Yes.
Is it more about personalization, about like relevant leads, contacts, or it's more about something else?
Right. Okay. So this is a big problem. This is the part, the difficult aspect of email marketing is making sure your emails don't go into spam. So we found that if your emails are going into spam, there are a few things that you can do to try to fix it. But really, the most important thing is to take the steps beforehand to make sure that your emails don't go into spam. And that's by following the hygiene and the inbox steps that are on this list. So really, it's about keeping your emails relevant to your customers, making sure you're sending emails only to people who want to get them, and try to get them to engage with your email. So to click on it, to open it, to share it, to forward it. If you can try to get engagement out of your list, your emails won't go into spam. They really won't. And it's also important to make sure those records are set up correctly. There's SP and whatever, I don't even know what they are, but make sure the DMARC and those other records are set up correctly. Make sure your tech person is involved. You could ask the MageCloud team to help you with that. And these are the things that will help make sure your emails don't go into spam and they get delivered. Okay, great. But what if the open rate is great, like something around 30 or 40%, but click-through rate is not so good, just several? Is it about content issues or just... Okay, so if again, we are talking about personalization. So if the personalization is good, then the click-through rate will be better. Right. Right. Okay. Yes. You want, obviously, for in terms of getting your emails delivered, they're looking at everything. They're looking at open rate and click-through rate, but a 30% open rate is good. That's good. But the click-through rate is what you need for your business to do well. So yeah, anything you can do to drive up that click-through rate is key. And the way to do that is to make it relevant and make it make it something that's valuable for them. And then they're going to click. Okay, I'm so sorry. We have some questions. Maybe just you will try to answer them. What do you recommend for a third-party deliverability monitor? Okay, so we use a company. I'm giving a recommendation. They're not paying us. We use a service called Emailable. So anybody wants to check them out, that's what we're using. They're about $150 a month. We provide it to our customers, so they don't have to pay extra. Anybody who uses us for their email marketing, we monitor the emails for them, obviously, because that's very important. But there are other companies also that do this. There's Litmus, and actually someone just reached out to me yesterday who runs another company. I was going to, we have a meeting scheduled to speak to them, someone from Ukraine, actually, a company based in Ukraine that has an email deliverability service. So I'm not specific to any particular company. As long as its service works and it's easy to read the reports, go for it. Maybe we will send the list of your recommendation together with the presentation and email with recording. Great. So the next question, in headers using first name, text, etc., is it worthwhile? Details these granular, should they be split tested? You could split test it. We don't do it. I think people are smarter than that. They know that in the header, if you're sending the first name, they know that it's fake. They know that you just inserted personalization. And also there's so many times that you don't have their first name. So it looks funny, like there's like a space or
just or some.
Yeah. So we don't try those gimmicks. We really just try to drive value from the message itself. And that really is what ultimately in the long term is where your performance is going to come from, not from these gimmicks and tricks. We try to, all our tactics are very solid, good long-term tactics that are not going to be just the flavor of the month. They're not just in style now. We try things that are going to be, we only work on things that make sense and that are long-term good for the business.
Okay, great. And the last one, maybe you can just check yourself about professionals. For me, not to pronounce the whole.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see the question about one email per week. Yeah, one email per week is fine. Like, yeah, if you have just one service or one product, a lot of brands only have one brand or one service. You don't want to overload them. Like, there's only so much that you can say about what you're doing. But then again, you want to stay in there. You want to stay on their conscious. You want them to be aware of you. One a week is plenty. In that case, yeah. You definitely want to keep it to once a week, and you'll be fine with that. It's when you have a ton of products, a ton of customers, there's so much to talk about your brand and so much to talk about your business, then you want to be sending more, like 6 or 8 times a month.
But the question was, which day would be the best?
It
depends.
Definitely weekday. Definitely weekday is better for professionals. Usually Wednesday. Not Monday, because Monday is a very busy day for a lot of people. Tuesday or Wednesday is usually a good time, but test it.
But split testing?
Split test, you can split test because, yeah, especially with Klaviyo and the other send email providers, you could do some of your list on this day, some of the list on that day, and you could see over time which one gets a higher open rate, higher engagement.
Thanks, Aaron. Great presentation. Yeah, it was really great. But I have one more question. You mentioned that you are using, like I saw you are using Google Sheets for some ideas for the emails. But what about planning? I saw your presentation on your website, and you were talking about planning a calendar. Do you use any other software, maybe just for?
Yeah, we use internally. We use Basecamp. So we use Basecamp for all because we have a lot of different people working on the emails. We have the person setting up the emails, the designer, the copywriter, and the marketer, and all the strategists, and everybody together. So we use a collaborative tool. When you have a lot of people working on the emails, you want to use a management, like a project management service. But if it's just one person working on the email, someone in-house, then you could just do it straight in the email program. Don't make it complicated. Just go into the email service provider that you're using, set up your campaigns there. Just keep it easy, keep it simple.
Great. Okay, maybe we should stop our webinar. It was really nice webinar. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope all other attendees who registered for this webinar will enjoy the recording.